today we will start the sales cycle. So we'll go into the sales part now. Okay. So this is payables. This is purchases that you have. Navigation, if you see, enter purchase orders, we've already seen. Requisitions is just one step before the purchase orders that we get. Okay. Purchase contracts, blanket purchase orders, right? Order items is nothing but the same thing. Receive orders is item receipts, vendor return authorization, approve vendor returns. All these we have seen. And under payables, we have seen how to bill your purchase orders, how to enter the bills, approvals of the bills, paying of the bills. I have also shown you pay single vendor, wherein you will select a vendor and see what exactly are those, and then the vendor credits. The vendor credits is nothing but which comes as a part of your returns, right? We have also seen that credit vendor returns is the same thing. I mean, without any purchase order, without any return authorization, you can directly credit your vendors as well. So that is what this does. Okay. So today we will get into the sales cycle, wherein opportunities and quotations, we have already discussed about this, right? If you remember, while doing the lead conversions, I have shown you how to create the opportunities from the lead, and the lead gets converted to a prospect. The opportunity can be converted to a quotation again, and the quotation can be converted to a sales order. So once it is converted to a sales order, your prospect becomes a customer. You remember this concept, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. So today we'll get into the sales orders directly. Enter sales order. So this is the sales order page that you have. So even your sales order page can have different forms.
Sir, before starting, I have a question.
Yeah.
The purchase order where we have created, can you take that item and can you put as a sale order so that we will know how much profit they made?
That's exactly what we are doing. Yes.
The same item you are going to take, sir?
Of course.
Yeah, sir. Okay.
So this form right now is a GSM sales order form that we have created. If you remember, certain forms we have renamed it to GSM and then we have created. So let us go ahead and take a standard sales order form so that you can understand what all options would you have on a standard sales order form. Okay. So you can have your customer, which is this, right? And there is a purchase order number. This is just a reference number, by the way. Okay. So you can create a purchase order. I mean, whenever you're creating a sale order, you can put a reference purchase order number, but that is not mandatory. So you can do that. Let us select a customer.
Sir, why the customers have numbers in that, sir?
Those
In
are
the
the
drop.
projects. Those are the projects.
Oh, these numbers are projects.
Correct. Somebody has created something and that's the reason it is showing up. But we'll take a normal customer that we have here, which will be Advent Global Solutions. Okay. And you can select a location. This is not mandatory over here, but it's okay. You can select that. Here it gets defaulted as usual. Okay. So if there are any opportunities with this customer, let us say there is one way of converting the opportunities to sales order, right? And the other way is if you have created any opportunity for this Advent Global Solutions as a customer, then it will be visible for selection over here. As of now, there are no opportunities for this. Have the opportunity selection over here. Now, these that you see over here are actually custom fields, our custom field for sales and all. Custom body 5. Somebody has created it for test purpose. Okay. That is one thing. You can have the status. Sales rep can be assigned over here. So whenever you create a sales order for any customer, you also might want to have a sales rep assigned to that particular sale order, because he is the one who follows up with the customer, and they will try to communicate with the customer, and if they have any queries, if they have any questions, this sales rep is the person who will take care of it. Okay. So coming to the line level. So under this item, we will take Dell 24-inch monitor. All right. So the rate is $329. Now what? Okay. So here we can change the rate. It was picking up the price level. If you remember, we have defined price levels for this. When we were doing the item, we have defined the price levels and price structures, wherein we were saying that there is certain base price, alternate price. So everything can be picked up from here. If you want to give something other than what is already defined, then you click on custom and then provide the rate. Okay. This is $400 is what we are saying. And let us sell 10 quantity. Okay. But one thing that we have to see is that if this quantity is available in the corporate headquarters. Okay. But we'll see. Let us add that item. Now, you see this tax code being picked up automatically, California, Alameda. Okay. The reason behind that is, as I have mentioned, the Advent Global Solutions, there is a zip code present on this particular customer in the address. And based on that zip code, if you remember, we were talking about the nexuses, right? So the nexus is defined in such a way that it automatically picked up the tax code of 0.25 percentage. So 0.25 percentage will be what? $10 of this $4,000 that you have here. The tax total is $10. And that is the reason the overall amount is $4,010. I did not pick up any tax code here manually. It got picked up automatically based on the customer zip code. However, I can manually change that as well. So if I feel that for this, it is not 0.25 percentage for the product that I'm taking here, then you can change the tax code based on whatever you want to. I mean, the customers will have that option of changing the passwords. Okay. Now you see inventory on hand is 0. It's not there. The available is 0 as well. So you will not be able to fulfill this item because in this corporate headquarters location, the quantity is not there. So what do we do with that? Let us see. I've added that and we will save it. In this location, on the corporate headquarters side, there is no quantity at all, because the reason behind that is we have created a purchase order for a different subsidiary altogether. Okay. The vendor that we have taken in the purchase order was belonging to the West subsidiary, if you remember. So this customer is in the parent company. We are trying to do it for the parent company. So when you do that, you will be able to, get only the locations from that particular parent company. The location that we have this item under is, I think it was CA1 that we worked on yesterday, right? So if you go back to this item that we have and click on the purchase inventory tab, if you scroll down, you will see that the location that we have worked with was CA1. And CA1 actually belongs to a different subsidiary altogether. Okay. So if you try to fulfill it right now, okay, the first transaction that we have done is just putting in a sale order. So the sale order will also have certain GL impact, which is non-posting again. Okay. This is a non-posting GL impact that we have. The $10 is the tax which gets credited to the tax account that we have. Okay, there is a tax account that got created because of the sales tax payable CA, and then sales order. This was purchase orders earlier. If you remember, purchase order was a credit, and the on the purchase order form there was a interim purchase order GL account that we have seen, which was a debit. So these transactions will be exactly opposite of a purchase. GL impacts will be exactly opposite to that of purchase. And if you see, 4,000, it will be $4,010. Okay, the entire amount which would be a debit is $4,010, and the credit would be split because there is a tax which is coming into picture. So every time these credits and debits will match. If it doesn't match, the system does not allow. So if I try to fulfill it now, I clicked on fulfill. And there are two ways. You can go to transactions, sales, and fulfill. One second. Okay, there will be fulfill sales order somewhere. Second. What is fulfill? Accept customer payments, returns, approve, refund, issue credit memos. Should be there somewhere. Why is it not visible? Maybe we do not have access to that. Oh no, not this. Page is visible. Item fulfillments page we have, but here we should also have a fulfill items option, which looks like it is a permission issue. Okay, I don't know why is it not there, but the item fulfillment page will be visible under this customers. Okay, go back to transactions. Usually in a normal standard scenario, it will be visible here. Fulfill sales orders option will be available here. So now let us go here, and if you click on this, I'm saying I want to fulfill 10, okay, and then save it. You see this? Okay, inventory detail. That's okay. There's something called as inventory detail status that we have to configure. So let's go here. Okay, it's under order management, fulfill orders. This is what I was looking for. Mark orders packed, mark order shipped, and fulfill orders is a part of the order management. That is fine. So we are looking at inventory status now. Okay, go to accounting. we have to configure the inventory as good, bad, or you know, um, available. So that is what I'm trying to check. Give me a second. Some accesses in this test environment we may not have, and that is the reason sometimes we don't find certain things. Inventory worksheet, distribute transfer inventory. Have to configure this inventory status somewhere. Let us see. So if you're stuck like this, we can check the sweet answers. Okay. Let us see. I think this is changing in interest status. Uh, creating inventory status records. Okay, this is the one. Inventories. Okay, reports, new search. To search for inventory status, list supply chain inventory status. Okay, there you go. So lists supply chain inventory status. Okay. This is the inventory status that we've configured as good, bad, which was already there. Okay. Right. So the reason why we are not getting the inventory detail over here is that this quantity is not available. Okay. In the warehouse, if you see, the quantity itself is not available, and that is the reason you cannot configure if it is good or bad or whatever it is. Okay. This 10 quantity that I'm saying on hand, it is completely zero. If you go back to your inventory item, we are checking for the location, which is, what was the location? Do you remember what location we were looking for? You can go to the sales order and you can find what is the location that we were actually looking for, which is corporate headquarters. So if you go back to your item fulfillment, sorry, where's that? Did I close the item? Okay. If you go back to your item, purchase inventory tab, scroll down and check the corporate headquarters. Where is corporate headquarters? You see this? It is zero at this point in time. So if the item quantity is zero at that location, obviously we cannot ship out to the customer. So in that case, I mean, not in that case, but I'll explain the item transfer of the item concept here. Okay. Now, usually in a business scenario, in a normal business scenario, what happens? You have an order for 10 quantity. However, you are not able to ship it out because the quantity is not available. In that case, they will purchase that item for this particular location. For corporate headquarters, they have to purchase the item, correct? Because we need to have that in the inventory. Only when we have, we'll be able to sell it out to the customer. But here, what we will do is, let's get into the inventory, and then we'll see the transfer inventory. Okay. This comes as part of the intercompany transfers, actually. Okay, so the earlier transfer order that I have shown you, that transfer order is only within one location to another one, within the same subsidiary. Okay. However, here you can actually see that you will have different locations. So let me check that once. Okay. What was our location there? Um, If you scroll down, I'm looking for the subsidiary of this CA1 location. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Or for now, what I'll do is let us do a purchase order for that particular location. I will show you the transfer orders a little later. Okay. So we have to find out a vendor who is from the subsidiary that this location belongs to. So let us go to the vendors. We'll customize the view. We need to know the vendors who are from the parent company subsidiary, right? So what we'll do is we'll add the subsidiary here. And then let us see. I'm trying to pick up one vendor who is from the parent company. Okay. So if you see, parent company. Okay. So Apple Store, let us take this TOV V1. Okay. So let's go back. We'll select TOV V1. And the location is corporate headquarters. Okay. I'm saying this particular thing, I need about 50 quantity. Okay. Add this new body field. Somebody creates these fields and what they do is they leave it as mandatory. And that is the reason we will have this problem. I'll do an item receipt. I'm receiving this 50 quantity into my corporate headquarters right now. So I'm purchasing because I do not have the quantity with me. Okay. Since yesterday we are having an issue with this item receipt also, right? Okay. Somebody has changed something and Netsuite does not show what exactly is the error that is the issue. Sometimes if somebody has activated a workflow or a script, we cannot do anything. Let us see. There's no workflow also. Okay. It's this basic workflow. Could be because of any of these workflows or any script that has been added. So I'm trying to inactivate all these which are not necessary. Okay. This is how you inactivate any workflows which are not required. So just go into edit mode and then just click on inactive so that those workflows don't, I mean, we don't see those workflows anymore. So these are all the basic workflows that we have, which have come as part of the bundles. Okay. So this one is not initiating, this one is not initiating, which is fine. The workflows are good. So let us go to the scripts. Somebody has messed up with the scripts and workflows. Let's see. From bundle, which is hello from client. What is this? I've inactivated that as well. Okay. POCSV generate. Because of this. All right, we'll try that again. Okay. Let us go back. Unexpected error. We won't get much of results in sweet answers for this because it is a very generic error that we are getting, right? But we'll see. Landed cost is visible for us. Why would be no? It says it's because of the landed cost, which is hidden, which is not hidden, and we are able to see that, right? So this is not the right solution for us. Let us see this. AP accounts with subsidiary. Okay. But we were able to do this earlier for the same item, right? I don't know why is it not working now. Accounting. Guys, are you able to follow me? There's an error that we are getting while doing the item receipt, which we got yesterday also. When we were doing the blanket purchase orders, we were not able to complete the item receipt form, right? So that is what I'm trying to check right now. Why exactly are we not able to? Sorry?
Not me, sir.
Okay, okay. What I'm trying to check is if this, okay, it won't work this way. We're trying to check if this accounts that are defined here are already for the all the subsidiaries or not. Okay. 1210. This is include children. This is include children. 4010. This is also included children. 1210 we've already checked, right? Yeah, okay. 8,100. This is also included children. Then what is the issue? 4210. 5810. Okay, the chart of accounts look fine. Then what else could be the problem? But there is an issue. Okay, let's see if it is happening only with this item. Huh? What we'll do is we'll try to change the item. It could be a problem with the item setup also. So what we'll do is we'll just get rid of this item, which we were able to do earlier. I don't know why it shouldn't work, but we'll see. So we're trying to see if it is an item issue or if it is a form issue that we have with this. Okay. So I just saved with another item. We will see. No, it's a problem with the form only. Okay, let me see why we are not able to do that. So meanwhile, let's try to do a transfer. Okay. Okay. Or else let me try doing one thing. We will do a sale order with the same location as of now. Okay. And then we'll try to do something else. We'll see the customer with this subsidiary. Okay. Give me a second. I'll see why we are not able to do that uh, item receipt over there. Okay. For now, what we'll do is we will go to the location first and we'll see which location does the CA1 belong to. The CA1 belongs to Canada subsidiary. I think so. Canada, BK Canada. Okay. So now we need to check out for a customer who is from Canada, right? So is the subsidiary listed here already? We'll pull it out, no issues. So this is the saved search that I'm doing right now to just bring in the subsidiary, which is not visible here as of now. Okay. So scroll down, add the subsidiary. Okay. Let's pull it up. Okay. So this BK Canada. Now we can consider this Gabriel Solutions as the company. So let us go back to our sale order. This is the one that we just created. So we'll edit this. No, is this the one? I don't know. 1000. No, I don't think this is the one that we created. It's okay. Try to create a new. This is such a big issue with the forms. So many people create so many forms and they hide certain fields on the forms, and that is the reason sometimes this happens, that we are not able to process certain things. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to check if this customer is active or not, because we're not able to find that customer in the selection. It is active. Why are we not getting it? Achha, somebody has changed this customer ID, you see. That is the reason we are seeing that over there. So this number 3 is Gabriel Solutions actually. Somebody has changed it. The customer IDs are visible, and that's the reason we are not able to see with the names. Just fine. Okay, it's okay. So let's change the pending fulfillment, and then we'll select the item. So under CA1 location, you have on hand 13, with which we'll be able to fulfill. New body again. So I have saved my sales order right now, and I can do a item fulfillment as well. So what I tried to do is we actually tried to send it to a different customer with a different location. That did not work. So I wanted to do an item receipt, which has an issue at this point in time. We are not able to process the item receipts, and that's the reason I have selected a customer from a same subsidiary and the same location where we have inventory already, the 13 inventory that we have already inside, right? So we are actually trying to process the same. Once you click on the fulfill button, you will be able to see that the quantity on hand is 13 at that location, and we are trying to ship out 10. Okay, so once you save, this will ship the material out of the warehouse to the customer. The 10 quantity, that whatever quantity that we are trying to ship out, this is exactly what we are trying to fulfill right at this point in time. Okay. Mark packed and mark shipped are the next step. So we are packing a material right now. The warehouse people will pack the material and click on mark as packed. So once the truck once the truck arrives in the location, and when it's gone out, then they just click on mark shipped, so that the shipment is completed right now. So if you go back to your item again, you will notice that the inventory on hand is only just 3 and not 13 right now. I think it's not yet updated. The inventory on hand is actually only 3 because the fulfillment is completed already. Okay. So after the item is fulfilled, right, you will have the GL impact as well. Again, on the bill, there's a GL impact. It's shown. Okay, 1 second. Let us go back to the item fulfillment page. is so strange. Even the item fulfillment GL impacts are not showing up. That seems to be some issue. Okay, so when the item fulfillment is done, there is something called as COGS, cost of goods sold. Okay, that particular cost of goods sold will be a debit, right? And then the sales order of GL will be a credit, which is not being shown up as of now, but that's okay. So once the item fulfillment is done, under transactions, you will see that you can actually create an invoice. Okay, so when you're creating a purchase order, the bill that you generate is called a vendor bill. And when you're creating a sale order, what you're trying to generate is called as an invoice. Okay, so you click on this bill, it will take you to the invoice page. Okay. Hold on. I think this is a drop shipment that got created because of the item. I think I know what it is. 1 second. On the item, if you remember, we have actually created it as a dropship item. And that is the reason it shows. So if you remember, I have spoken about a dropship purchase order, right? What dropship means is the inventory does not come into our warehouse. Okay. The vendor will directly ship out the inventory to the customer's place, and that is what your dropship actually does. That's good. That's just a warning that we are getting that the other thing has been exceeded, which is the credit limit. We have just set up a warning on that, so that's fine. We are making a payment to the vendor right now. Okay, don't get confused with this. Usually in a normal sale order scenario, what happens is you create a sales order, you do an item receipt, and you do a customer invoice directly. We are getting the payment from the customer and then we do an invoice. But this is a drop ship model that I'm showing you right now, which is the vendor will directly ship out the material to the customer's place. Okay. So if you see, this $605.43 is a credit that we had from the previous transaction that we have done, right? If you remember, that's what it is. Let's go back to the item fulfillment. See, now it is shipped. It is fully billed. The purchase order that we have done is fully billed right now. So if you go back to the item, I think it should show. Okay, this will not consume the material from our inventory. I'll show you why. Okay. So if you see, the quantity on hand is still showing 13. The reason is, just visualize this, guys. There is an item which is called a dropship item. Okay. And this particular item, the vendor, whoever is the vendor, will ship out the material from the from their warehouse to the customer warehouse. So whatever we have in our inventory will not be consumed if it is a drop ship item. Okay. This inventory will still be there if you do not, if you remove that drop ship option from the item. What I'm talking about is if you go to the item, okay, this is the item, right? If you scroll up, I said that this is a drop ship item. Okay. So next time when I'm actually doing a sale order, if I remove this dropship option that I have here, when I edit and I remove the dropship option, then the material which is consumed on this will be from our warehouse. Okay. As of now, the vendor has shipped out this material from their warehouse to the customer warehouse. So this is one concept of the sale order that I have shown you right now, wherein I have defined this item as a dropship item. And when this happens, whatever equipment, whatever material that we have in our warehouse, this will not get impacted. The vendor will ship out the material from their warehouse to the customer warehouse. Okay. So now I can create a invoice, which is for the sale order that we have done. And what is the invoice amount? It will be $4,110. Okay. There was no GL impact on that item fulfillment because the items were shipped out from the vendor to the customer's place. And that is the reason there is no GL impact. So we are creating a customer invoice right now, and we have to accept the payment from the customer. That is the next step in the sale order process. So hope this is clear. Any questions on that? I know the concept was a little confusing, but did you understand what I did here?
Yeah, a little bit, sir. It's so
Okay.
confusing today.
Don't get confused. What we did now is a drop ship sale order. Okay. So whenever we are doing a drop ship sale order, the inventory that we have with us will not get impacted because the vendor will ship out the equipment directly to the customer. Okay. That is the only thing which happened here on the drop ship. So we are accepting the payment right now. This is called as a payment. So outside of the NetSuite, probably the customer made a payment through a check or through net banking or anyways. I mean, you can actually show that in your bank. And once that payment is made outside of the NetSuite, then you have to record the same payment in NetSuite as well, right? So you just do a accept customer payment over here, and that can be done, right? The payment is accepted right now, which is not yet deposited to the bank account. That is fine. So there is something called as bank deposits that you do, and you can take the payment into your bank once the bank deposits are done. Any questions on this? I will show you the normal sales order now. How the normal sales order would actually be, I can show that to you. See this? This is the payment that we have done. And deposit form is this. We are saying that it can be deposited to the bank. Okay. This is the final transaction. We will see the item returns later on, but now what I'll do is let's go back to the inventory item and then I will edit this. Okay. go down and say that this is not a dropship item anymore. I don't want it to be a dropship item. Save it. So now we'll do the same thing. We will go back to our sale order, create enter sales order. We will select our customer as 3. Okay, the location will be CA1 that we are trying to ship out the material from. So we'll select CA1. Scroll down, take the item. This is the general sale order process that I'm showing you right now, how things work. Okay. Save it. Transactions, sales, enter sales orders. Customer will be 3. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Location will be CA1. Scroll down and enter the item. Quantity is 10. The available quantity is still 13. Okay. I saved the sales order right now. So if I click on fulfill right now, so this will consume the material that we have in our warehouse, because this is not a drop ship item anymore. We are not saying that the vendor will ship out to the customer, but we will ship the material out to the customer. Okay. So this will have a GL impact. What we're trying to do right now will have a GL impact on it, because there is no drop ship to. If you see the drop ship to option, there is no purchase order right now, which is linked with this. So if you go back to the item right now and see that the inventory will be consumed, you will have in hand as 3 only now. Okay. You see this? We are shipping out the material to the customer, and that is the reason we have consumed 10 out of this quantity, and only 3 is available right now. We have already shipped out the material. Okay. Whatever, the monitors, LED monitors that we have, this is the invoice that we do. And this is a general process. Now, let me show you something. If you go back to your item fulfillment here, you will have a GL impact, which will be on the cost of goods sold. See this? Cost of goods sold is a debit, and my credit is, so the cost of, if you see, my sale order was for 4,110. Okay. The cost of the goods I'm selling right now is only 3,751 and 42 cents. So whatever is the difference amount, that 4,100 minus 3,751 will be your income. Okay. You understood the concept? Cost of goods sold is nothing but to buy that goods, to buy that 10 quantity of goods, I have spent $3,758. And while selling, I sold it for 4,101 for $4,110. So whatever is the difference amount is what will be my income, which you can show in the invoice. You will be able to see in the invoice. What's happening? Why is this not getting open? Okay. The the entire revenue is $4,110. And my whatever the same thing, the accounts receivable will be a debit and it will be a credit on the sale order. So once I receive the payment, okay, go to open in the same. Okay, once I go back, once I receive the payment, the bank account will get credited. So this is the general process that happens as part of the sales cycle. You say this $4,110, that is your this, and if you select your bank account, that will be a debit because we have received the payment. It moves out from the accounts receivable to the bank account. That is the GL impact. So the entire sales cycle is done.